welcome back to episode 6 of the PRing Life podcast. And on this week's episode, we got some things we want to say.
Yep. Coming off a very eventful weekend for Palmer. I didn't do as much as you, but want to jump into the marathon. Kind of take us through how you feeling after that.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling it. So I ended up final time was 1 hour 50 minutes. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it. But overall, there was some adversity I guess I faced. I would say it was like a lot of things went wrong in the morning, but I didn't want to go on my Instagram and be like, oh, like make all these excuses.
Right.
But I kind of like the things to review. Like in the book I read, like Can't Hurt Me by Goggins, he's like, I forget what he called it exactly, but it was like an ARR assessment or an AAR assessment.
Okay.
So something you do in the military when you like look at a goal and you failed it or whatever, you didn't accomplish that goal, you look at the reasons why and like how you can accomplish that goal next time. And so I went back, looked at it, and so there's probably 4 or 5 things. So first thing we started with is it got moved from 7:30 to 8. So in Florida, that doesn't seem big, but September 7th, so it was, I finished up my race at 9:50, checked my phone after the race, and it said feels like 101. So it was extremely hot. Was not prepared for that because I did all my runs and training at 6:30 a.m. And I even talked to one of my buddies, and he was like, yo, like when you – and it's like, okay, the second thing was that it's a smaller event. So I signed up for it before I moved to Florida through like some sort of venue. I showed up, didn't see anyone there. I was like, am I even at the right thing? And so I was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
But it was the right thing. There's only 32 people signed up, and only 8 were doing the half marathon. So it's like it's not like what you would have thought of signing up for a half marathon where there's like 5,000 people.
Yeah, I thought it was huge.
But it's tiny. So it's like so I was out there running by myself, like by far the fastest pace. Not like that fast, but I was the fastest pace by myself. So no one to kind of push you. And then so going back to that, it was like he was like, oh, that makes sense. It's a smaller event because most events wouldn't do it in that kind of heat this time of the year. Because that's like a liability to take on.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the course was 4 out and back. So out and back 4 times. And so that meant, and there was only water when you came on the back.
Wow.
Or like came back. Oh, pause, bro. Yo, anyways. So there's only 3 water stops.
Crazy work by you.
There's only 3 water stops on the whole run. And so then last 2 things was I came in with plantar fasciitis. I ended up tying my shoes too tight to like make sure my feet weren't going to hurt during the race.
Yeah.
And so not during the race, but now my foot aftermath, it feels like, I know it's not, or I think it's not, but the top of my foot feels like it's like broken.
Damn.
So that anytime I have a shoe on now, it just hurts. And then last thing was I woke up Friday morning with like a kind of a festering sore throat. And then Saturday just woke up with a full out sore throat. So
sheesh.
A lot of kind of things fell in at once. And so I didn't want to make excuses on like the Instagram, and I'm still not making excuses. I still made an hour 50, which I missed my goal by 5 minutes. My first goal originally was 2 hours, so I beat that.
Yep.
Hour 50, and then heart rate got up to 193, 194, which you can't maintain. I was like, dude, I'm giving it my all. Like, I don't want to not give it my all and miss my goal.
Yeah.
But I got to the point when my heart rate was so high, I was like, bro, I might like die or pass out here if I don't be careful.
Yeah.
So overall, amazing experience. Probably during the fact, it was the hardest physical thing I've probably done just due to the pace, the heat, all that together. Super cool. I don't think I'm going to do a marathon anytime soon. I think it's a bucket list thing next year or two and a lot cooler weather. But that's the rundown.
So, wow. I mean, it sounds like it kind of beat you up a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely did. There's a lot of things that go into it that you didn't expect, and I prepared for it pretty well. I carb loaded. I trained for it. I didn't get to taper as much as I wanted to, but I did plan well. Morning of, I felt like was perfect. Got up, ate my food, drank like a little coffee, went to the bathroom, all the things you would want to do, hydrated, and then a couple of small things like not enough water on the course, kind of those things you don't plan for.
Yeah.
It didn't pan out how I expected them to, which I guess you can't ever expect anything when you sign up for something 3 months out.
Yeah.
So look deeper into it next time.
Gotcha. So, I mean, man, that sounds like, you went through the ringer. What's the recovery process looking like for you?
Yeah. So the weekend, Saturday, obviously, those were my 2 workouts. It was 2 45-minute outdoor workouts. And then, so I finished up that day. kind of just took it easy,
Mhm.
focused on editing some videos. Sunday, took it easy with a couple easy workouts, went through did some yoga, and then did just an outdoor walk. And so that's what I've been trying to do is like before the half marathon, a lot of my workouts were more intense, and like
Yeah.
doing 2 a day, it's kind of hard to recover from that. And so right
Yeah.
now I'm like, I can still get my 2 workouts in a day and keep them a little bit lighter. And
Gotcha.
so that's what I've been doing, focusing on kind of some walks,
Mhm.
maybe some like shorter lifts, like just 45-minute lifts
Mhm.
to get that going. And then, yeah, just hydrating. And I need to do a better job of stretching out.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I know you're also kind of looking forward to, maybe transitioning your work stuff. What are you kind of planning? You're trying to go full speed into content, right? At some point here soon.
Yeah, I don't know about soon, but we'll see. It's like that's something I want to do for sure. It's like
Yeah.
move full into like content, and then also I don't know when that will be or like when I'm going to be able to make that full jump. But for now, it's like what I'm doing during the week
Yeah.
is giving me the resources to do
For
what I
sure.
can do on the side. And
For
so
sure.
right now, it's, I'm a financial analyst, trying to learn as much as I can, try to
Yeah.
get like the biggest overview of the company that I can,
Mhm.
and then take those things into the next facet, which is going to be like, I think I'm going to pick up a part-time personal training role.
Nice.
So that's going to be sort of a focus after 75 hard is getting this training or this personal training and ramping up my client base for 20 hours a week.
Mhm.
So then I'm kind of balancing both the job right now with the 20 hours a week, save up a little extra money. And then, I can't predict anything into the future, but we'll just kind of see where that goes from there.
That's solid, dude. That's solid.
But really just kind of stay grounded because you can't look like there's good to have a plan, but also taking it a day at a time, so.
Yeah. No, that's super important, man. That's super important. I think you're going about it the right way, because you try to overload yourself, and that's even worse, and that weighs down your mental, and you definitely don't want to be in that spot.
Yeah, and I feel like it's tough. Like 75 hard's a little drastic, and it has been weighing down the mental a little bit. And it's
Yeah.
just like the small things, like being able to talk to people, being
Yeah.
able to get some workouts with people during the week, and even just like the things I enjoy. So like this, for example, like getting to this point where the work of the week's been done, and now I get to actually just film something I love to do,
For sure.
and or just like even some of the workouts are like getting to the point where they're not enjoyable. So it's like
Mhm.
I'm gonna really love when just like working out is like I could like fully enjoy a workout, or I can go for a walk for 20 minutes, not 45 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. The mental's important, man. The mental's super important. That's actually rocking this hat. Shout out the owner of the Positive Mind, dude. He hooked me up. Took an Uber this weekend, and we're just chopping it up, just learning about him. And he told me he had this clothing brand. I was like, oh, cool. Let me check it out. And super good message. Like he had some mental health issues, so he used this clothing brand to kind of promote, being positive and staying positive, no matter what you're going through. And that really resonated with me.
Yeah,
And so he sent me the link for his page, and I was like, dude, I really like those hats. And he's like, bro, if I have one in the trunk, I got you. He
yeah,
goes and checks in the trunk. He's got one left, the exact same one I was like looking at. So
dang,
it was clutch. So can't thank him enough. Appreciate that. But yeah, dude, the mental that's really more important than the physical, honestly, because
yeah.
that's what keeps you going.
It really has, and we'll link him down below his page and on all of our platforms because that's an awesome movement. And I think that's often it's really important in this day and age, and a lot of people struggle from that. Just us being like a COVID generation and having that positive mindset. Like people don't realize how waking up with like gratefulness
Yep.
can just take away so much anxiety and stress and like mental mental health is such an important thing in today's age. And like I've had I've dealt with some mental health things, and like
Yep.
it's so important, man. Just being grateful, having a supporting like community and like
Yep.
close knit group around
Yep.
you. And we can talk about that in another episode. But I don't know if you have any experience with it, but it's definitely something to like be aware of. Take like get, and that's why like I'm so adamant during like some of my posts. I've been like get outside, hang out with friends,
Yeah.
eat healthy, because something as small as just eating like healthy meals, like there's balance in life, but eating healthy meals throughout the week, you feel so much better, and you're gonna feel less anxiety. You're gonna feel better in general.
Yeah, 100%. I can't agree more, man. Like, and being in Florida too, you kind of have no choice, right? Everybody's fit, everybody's active, so that has been my favorite part about moving here. It's pushing myself, coming from college, just kind of eating whatever I wanted, to coming here and being kind of more disciplined and putting myself in the best position to be healthy, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I guess what does that look like when you're in college? What do you like? What does your daily regiment of eating look like,
Dude,
or did
I
it?
used to eat anything, dude. Like I love me a good pepperoni pizza, just solid ppepperoni. I used to eat a lot of pepperoni pizzas,
It's cheap. It's
wings.
good. It's a lot of food.
Yeah,
That's what you're
dude.
looking for in college.
Yeah, dude. But now try to eat, steak, chicken, rice.
Groceries. You're going grocery shopping. You're setting yourself up with some grass-fed ground beef,
Yep,
a nice platter for the week.
yep.
If you do the hard work, the discipline once a week. This is what I've been saying lately. Do the discipline once a week in the grocery store. You don't
Yep.
have to make that decision to be disciplined at all
That's
anymore.
facts. That's facts.
And so
Yeah.
that's what I think one of the things I'll be taking from 75 hard is feeling so much better. I had one day where when I drove down here to move to Tampa, I ate Chick-fil-A minis in the morning because we're traveling. So
Yeah.
it's hard when you're traveling. I ate Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
minis in the morning, Zaxby's in that for lunch when I was getting here. And dude, I felt miserable that night. And like I had some anxiety going through like the move down to Tampa.
Yeah.
And that made it so much worse. Like that day, I remember just thinking that night, like, dude, I'm done. I'm done eating this stuff. And so since then, I had barely like eaten any fast food before that, or like before 75 hard. And since then, I haven't eaten fast food, and I really don't think I'll ever eat it again because it's so bad for you, and it really does wear you down when
Yeah.
you're because it's inputs. It's what you're putting into your body is how you're gonna feel, and when you're putting just absolute crap in your body, you're gonna feel like absolute crap. And
For
so
sure.
there's a couple like I think fast casuals that are still decent, like maybe that's what they're called, like
Yeah.
but like
Fast
the
casual.
Chipotle,
Uh-huh.
the Cava. I had one called Taco Dirty, which is like a bowl place as well.
Okay.
And like I think those places are acceptable. I think they're healthy food. There's just a couple ingredients that might be here or there, but
Yeah.
for the most part, they're like it's grilled chicken. It's healthier food.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't. I gotta recommend Naked Farmer over Chipotle.
Ooh,
Yeah. Have
I've
you had it
seen
yet?
that. No, I
Dude.
just saw it the other day, and
Yeah.
I want to go there. So maybe we have to hit that.
Dude,
one day.
definitely. Naked Farmer, I feel like it just tastes like you can tell it's,
It's
like you
real.
said, grass fed, real, just real food, honestly. Chipotle, man, they fell off. They fell off so crazy. Like, man, you go there, you get a
Prices
bowl.
are expensive.
Man, you get a bowl this big and it's like 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah, and that's the thing these days is people used to be like, oh, I can't afford to eat like healthy, and
Yeah.
then they go to eat McDonald's and they buy food for their whole family of five, and that'd be what 30 bucks, or maybe back in the day it was like 10, 15 bucks. But it's
I
like
don't know about
okay,
that.
so maybe it was cheaper, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper to eat fast food back in the day, but now it's like you can go to the store and get a rotisserie chicken for $7 that will feed your whole family.
Yeah.
You're going to go to McDonald's and you're going to spend 30 bucks, or Chick-fil-A, you're going to spend 14 bucks on a meal for one person. It's like
Yeah.
there's no excuse for people that maybe aren't in the best financial situation to say, hey, I'm too broke to eat this healthy food. And it's like, yeah, maybe you're not eating grass-fed 90% lean ground beef,
Right.
like top quality, but it's like you can go to Costco and get 5 pounds of ground beef for probably, I don't know, 12, 13 bucks. And it's like,
Yeah.
that'll feed your family for 2-3 nights.
Yeah, I think I mean, obviously, if you're,
If you're really struggling, like it's,
yeah.
and I feel for that, but it's the people who will go spend the 40 bucks at McDonald's and then say,
right.
oh, I'm too broke to
I
eat
think,
healthy.
yeah, if people are making the wrong decision more times than not, I think those people have the ability to turn around. But there's also other people that, they really can't because they're, making ends
and
meet or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
and I feel that for
Yeah.
sure. But it's the people who are still spending the money, they're
Yeah.
complaining about it, and then they're not doing anything to change it when they could be, one, eating healthier, and two, eating for cheaper.
for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, even just in college, like you said, there's really not like much options. Like I never lived in my own like house or apartment, so I didn't go grocery shopping a ton.
Yeah.
So that would be like, okay, we don't have food at the fraternity house on the weekend.
Yeah.
It would, like, my weekends would consist of Friday dinner, eat out, Saturday morning brunch or whatever, eat
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and then dinner, eat out again. Sunday, same thing, eat out in the morning, eat out in the afternoon, and so I'm spending a bunch of money
Yeah.
on bad food most of the time, like
Mhm.
Fusakli's, cookout, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And so it's like, hey man, I've kind of realized like I gotta prioritize what's going in my body because that's
sure.
how good I feel.
For sure. What would you say was your number one, like, go to Saturday? There's nothing to eat. You're like, I'm going to stuff my face.
Yeah, dude. I mean, after the gym, I feel like the obvious answer would be like Chipotle.
Uh-huh.
But man, when I'm really like, if I hadn't been hitting the gym and we're about to go out,
Yeah.
we would just go eat some like Fusakli's, just fried chicken. It was
Fusakli's?
gas. So it's like Fusakli's is like Cane's, but it's
Okay.
more in like Alabama, I think.
Yeah.
And so it was like Cane's, but I would argue better. And you'd get a 7-piece combo for $8 with like the tax in Alabama is 10 cents, like sales tax.
Mhm.
And so it's like $8 all included. You're like, damn, you can't get a better deal.
Can't beat it.
You can't beat it.
Yeah.
It is gas. Like I've been like after 75 hard, I'm day 59 today. And it's like, dude, I don't even desire fast food or fried food. Like I've cut
That's
all
awesome.
that out. I don't even want it.
That's
But
awesome.
Fusakli's still sounds gas.
Fusakli's. I think mine was Chick-fil-A, man. Chick-fil-A, dude, like
Breakfast or lunch or what?
all of it, man. I'm a little bit more leaning towards like the lunch.
Mm,
The breakfast, I'm not the biggest fan of like minis or chicken biscuits from there, but
yeah.
Chick-fil-A and in Georgia, I mean, you know, they got them on every corner.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we
Yeah.
have one just outside of our neighborhood, and it's like there's never not a line when it's open.
Here, it's a little bit less. Like I think there's like for us, like in our area, I think it's like 2 Chick-fil-A's, but it's been a little bit easier to not eat it here. But
There's less fast food in general. Like unless you're looking for it,
yeah,
I would say you don't just like see fast food places. You kind of
Yeah.
see like the one-off places.
yeah. Honestly, it's easier to eat healthy here because there's less fast food options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree. Yeah, and then like, I think one thing we wanted to also go into is just thanking everyone for the support on the last podcast. We want to once again thank Ethan.
For sure.
Amazing guest. We're definitely going to have him back on again. And
Yep.
he had mentioned his brother had just left before, so we
Mhm.
want to have his brother on as well, whether that's 4 people on a podcast or just him again. So
Yeah, no, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, we're both through the moon. Like, you know, the numbers might look small, but for the amount of work that we put in and what we do, we can't thank you guys enough for sure.
yeah, so we had 13 likes on our last video and 86 views, and that's just amazing that many people are starting to watch it. And
For
so
sure.
we're just starting to push it out. If you have any guests or you want to be on the podcast, feel free to reach out to either me or Rod, or DM the podcast on any of our platforms. We'd love to have you on if you have a certain business or you feel like you can provide value to people trying to do what you do, or provide value in any sense of like work ethic or any habit that you've done.
Fitness, entrepreneurship, even if you got a unique 9 to 5 or you're trying to break out of your daily mold, well, you know, we'd love to talk to you.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
then other than that, I think plan for the next couple of weeks, we should have a guest on the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're still aiming towards that 40 guests this year. I think that's a really aggressive goal. We're pushing ourselves with that, but
39 now.
39 now, one down. So
Yep.
one down out of 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's where we're sitting at right now. Yeah, and so that wraps up this week's episode. Looking to have a guest on next week. Super excited for that. And so, yeah, wrapping up this week's episode of PR in Life Podcast. Peace.